We all know the mistakes that Keir Starmer made with the beginning of the riots with Southport, how his reaction was to the reaction of the horrific crime. And I'm disappointed, bitterly disappointed to see a virtue signaller such as Brendan Cox. Remember him? He had the lovely young wife that got murdered in a surgery. She was an MP, Jo Cox, back in 2016 when Brexit was on. And a tragic loss to the mother of young children. Brendan, unfortunately, had to step down from his job 2 years later for claims of sexual harassment and misconduct. He apologised for anyone who felt that way invaded, but nevertheless, you know, what do you want to make about that? I don't know what to say. What I'm disappointed in is half the reason I believe that the Southport riots took off as they did was the stifling of information, was the fact that people aren't recognising what's happening to this country for a number of reasons, and it's usually political failure. So Brendan took to Twitter yesterday and said this. This is a man who's suffered great personal tragedy. For anyone trying to use this trial to spread hatred on the basis of lies, the prosecutor said there's no evidence that he ascribed to any particular political or religious ideology. He wasn't fighting for a cause. That's not the defence's case, it's the prosecutor. That's what Brendan wrote. Obviously it got a backlash. I just put sanctimonious rhetoric. Leo Kearse put, thank you for pointing out that the prosecutors are in the pocket of the establishment, and that thank you for stopping the people from hating children being stabbed to death. They must learn to love, or else, right? Emma Kenny from Us For Them said, sometimes common sense is the antidote to BS. We know why he did it, and it's very sad to see so many running from the glaringly obvious. The worry for me with a man like Brendan Cox, if I'd have been accused of sexual misconduct, I'd have been running for the hills. There's absolutely no way I'd have a Twitter page encouraging people to follow me, or even daring to delve into politics. I would think that what I'd done or what I've been accused of was enough. And the thing that really upsets me with people like him, for anyone trying to use the trial to spread hatred on the basis of lies, let's just dissect that. The hatred being spread was done of his own accord by Axel Rubicabana. He spreaded the hatred. He spread it. He's the one that stabbed one small child 122 times and would have killed all of them, as it transpired in the court case, had he been given time and had people not stepped in. All 26 would have died. He didn't just kill the 3 little girls. He wounded and injured other people who will have to live with that trauma, some of them being little girls. And Brendan's virtue signalling to me, trying to use this as a chance where we should all get on and pull together. Diversity is our strength. It's funny how we have to be reminded of that, as Konstantin Kisin said, every time there's some sort of terror attack. And whether you want to label this as a terror attack or not, if people are terrified and have been attacked for no reason, it's a terror attack. And I think it's nitpicking, trying to decide what ideology he was following. He downloaded Al-Qaeda manuals. He had ricin under his bed. Most young men have porn. He had ricin capable of killing 1,200 people. This is a man with some sort of ideology, and as Keir Starmer miraculously has admitted that lone wolf attacks will be a thing of the future. The public knew lone wolf attacks were a thing back in 2015, even after the Ariana Grande concert, we knew. And Brendan Cox is trying to virtue signal his way into the public eye by saying that's what we should be talking about. People should be allowed to be angry. You can't stifle anger, it builds resentment. And when resentment builds, it turns into bad behaviour. That's what Southport rioting was about. It was about decades of being ignored, decades of being told to calm down, not say anything, and virtue signalling politicians and media figures who won't allow people to say the glaringly obvious, something's not right here. Too many people are in this country who are like Axel. according to a report done by GB News, there's over 2,800 people on a watch list just like him that are capable of doing what exactly? And all he can do at this moment in time is for anyone trying to spread hate. We're not spreading any hate. We're living in our homes, taking our kids to school, paying our bills. We're living like people should. And we need to be able to say how disgusted we are. A person like him being allowed, known to the authorities, reported to the authorities, reported to school. His father knew about various things. His family have had to be moved for their own safety. Why is that? Because there's something not right about all of it. And the politicians and the media figures are part of it. And people like him saying that at a time like this is completely unnecessary. Allow people. The nation is actually grieving for these kids. The nation is. It's the Moors murderers. It's the Myra Hindley. It's that kind of issue to us. Nobody turned around to the public and told them to turn the other cheek to Myra Hindley. Come on, let's just be realistic. Give people time to get things off their chest, say how they feel, how angry they are. Nobody's asking for any violence here. Nobody's asking to take law into their own hands. But good grief, man, allow people to have their own anger and their own shock. Look at the difference in how GB News' Mark White reported from court in Liverpool. He broke down. He couldn't hold it together. This is a seasoned reporter who's reported on all sorts of things. And he couldn't hold it together. What do you get from Sky News? Oh yes, we've got to talk about, a cohesion and society coming together. No, we don't. What we have to talk about is allowing people to grieve. A nation is grieving because we know it could have been our kids. We know it could have been us, had some other nutcase. 2,800 of them living in the country right now, according to reports. So I think that's sanctimonious drivel, what he's written. And a man in his position, after suffering what he's suffered, should know better.